Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to show you an issue with OBS, which is whenever you try to add a display capture, it's just keeps on showing a black screen. So we're going to talk about that today, and hopefully a lot of you can get your problems resolved. This is a problem specifically with Nvidia laptops running OBS. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit, why it happens and what are the solutions. And basically this isn't quite a new fix. It works on, it should work on all versions of Windows 7, 8, 8.1, and I suppose all versions of Windows 10. I'm actually going to show you two ways of doing so. And near the end, I'm going to show you the new way of addressing this particular issue in version 1909 of Windows 10. So once again, yeah, this is the problem is that whenever you try to add a new display capture source into OBS, you will just get a black screen. Nothing shows up on screen, and the reason for that actually is because the OBS on Nvidia laptops, OBS is running on the GPU by default. It usually detects that this is a graphical program, and it's going to utilize the GPU to run on the laptop. And what you need to do is basically the issue is that because you're trying to output a display capture from the GPU, because OBS is also running on the GPU, you're not getting anything because there isn't actually anything being fed through the graphics card. Now, if you were to run some kind of a game that runs on the GPS and run OBS on GPU, then you would get the output of the video game to show up in OBS. However, you're just trying, most of you or most of us could be trying to show the desktop or whatever is showing through the display or on the monitor. So what we need to do is move OBS so it stops to use the GPU and it starts using the CPU. Okay, so we need to move it over so it's using the CPU instead of the GPU. That is the entire problem. And what we need to do is, if you have Nvidia laptop, usually if you have installed the Nvidia control panel, you'll notice that in the control panel there's a little icon that looks like this. And once you click on it, you'll see that OBS 64 or 32, depending on your operating system, are running on the GPU. That's what it says here, applications running on this GPU. So every time you start the OBS, it's just going to start using the GPU automatically, which means you will not be able to get an output of your desktop to show up. Okay, so what you need to do is basically, yeah, this is the icon. It usually turns it becomes like a multicolor icon once something starts using it. So what we need to do is, usually in the olden days or like before version 1909, you will able to fix that by going into the Nvidia control panel, clicking on that, and you would get a menu that looks like this. And from here, you would be able to basically modify the global settings and change them to integrated graphics. And even better, sometimes to force specific programs like OBS by clicking on program settings over here. And then modifying OBS, the 64 version or 32 version, whichever you have. Specifically forcing it to use the integrated graphics, right? So make sure you click on program settings, change select OBS here and change it to use integrated graphics, which means that this will use CPU instead of GPU. And then don't forget to click apply. So this fix has been working up until I suppose version 1909 or something like that. Okay, so this has all worked fine up until now, but now there is another way, the way of the Jedi. No, I'm just kidding. You have to click on start, and once you click on start, you have to search for graphics settings. So type in graphics settings into start, and choose the graphics settings here. Click on that, and then you're going to get something like this, a menu called graphics settings, and you'll find an application here called OBS, which is what you need to have in here. If it's not here already, and I suppose maybe it isn't, you just have to click on classic app, browse, click on browse, and find it. Look for the installation folder, and by default this should be the folder where it installs program files, OBS Studio /bin/64-bit or 32-bit, whichever you have, and then find the exe, either 64 or 32-bit exe. Once you have that, click on options. You'll have to click on options here, and you will get a menu that looks like this. And here you will see that power saving GPU is the Nvidia Graphics 4600, and then the high performance GPU, CPU, GPU is the Nvidia Geforce GT 745M in my case, but yours could be different depending on your laptop and your GeForce model. So what you need to do here is basically change it so it uses the Intel GPU, the built-in GPU, and you can do that by selecting power saving over here. Yeah, so choose power saving mode, and that's going to change the GPU into to use the on-chip Intel GPU, and this is going to solve your issue, because now what's going to happen is that the graphics card will output the video, the display will be fed through the Intel graphics card, and that's what you need, because this one, the Nvidia, is disabled, right, when you're just looking at the video games at the desktop. But if you do play video games, okay, you will have, this is where you will have to change between them. Okay, so if you want to show the video game output, you have to go back here and reselect high performance, and then that will output your any video games that are using the Nvidia GeForce card. But if you're just showing the desktop, or anything you do on your computer on your desktop or in your web browser and such, any applications, you'll have to come back and change this to power saving mode. Now an interesting point here is that as soon as you do this and you click on save, you will notice that well, make sure you exit out of OBS before clicking save. You have to exit OBS and then click on save. Okay, and then once you relaunch, you don't have to restart your computer. That's an interesting point right here. So you don't have to restart your computer. As soon as you click save and then you restart OBS, you should see no messages under the Nvidia GPU activity. You should see that it will say there are no applications running on this GPU, even though that OBS is running on your computer, on your desktop. So if you have any questions or anything else to add about this topic, leave it in the comments section below. Click on subscribe and like, and I'll see you later.